Hello, my name is Astra Papachristodoulou, and I'm going to be reading from Cut-out Bambi by Caroline Harris. I put on a pair of white cotton gloves to carefully open the glistening, hand-stitched pamphlet of Caroline, Cut-out Bambi. The cover is made of reflective silver card and features a family of 2 deers, which are colored in grey. The book thread on the left is indigo blue. As I open the pamphlet, I notice a series of photographs taken in various urban settings, including a city garden, a living room, and a street adjacent to a park. The photographs feature hand-cut outlines of deers in the center of the page. These outlines reveal parts of a larger text that lies beneath. Some of the excerpts read, "Forrest says, 'Come.' The comedy of naming, eyelashes tentative. His first word, a yellow bird." Thank you.
Hello, my name's Amy Barrett, and I'm a journalist based in Bristol. When I received the Bambi bookwork, it's tied neatly with very thin, beautiful string. I can slide it off and open the box. Inside is a note handwritten by Caroline saying thank you for taking the time to read Bambi. Inside the box is also some beautiful white gloves. I assume these are to handle the bookwork. And when I open the paper, I understand why. The cover is beautifully shiny, and immediately I regret not putting on the gloves first. I can see my reflection, but across the front is a black silhouette of a deer and its mother. Opening the book, the first page reads Cut-out Bambi, and Caroline Harris's name is printed in the bottom right corner. Turning the page, there's a brief explanation of where the images in the book come from. They're stills taken from YouTube videos, Cranbrook Deer by Fred Subra, Most Funny and Cute Baby Deer Videos Compilation 2018, posted by Funny Vlogs, A Baby Deer Found Hiding in the Bathtub, posted by Watch It Entertainment, and Deer Breaks into a House, posted by Disykes11 via Jukin Media. This upfront admission of the technology that's gone into the book prepares me for what I turn to next. There's an image. It's kind of fuzzy, as if it's been taken on a smartphone, probably not the latest model. It's a road, and there's grass in the background, and a cat in the bottom left corner. The cat is looking towards the centre of the image, where cut out is the same silhouette from the front cover. Through the cutout, you can see words. I love that little bits of them are chopped off, so you have to guess as to what the words are. There's one that begins with B. B something, his first word. Underneath it is bird, exclamation mark. So it's kind of expected that that's the word, but I like that I can decide for myself. The next page is of 3 figures cut out in the middle of the car parking lot. They are much further away, and this is deer or wild animals as I know them better. I sometimes see a fox running around my housing estate. And this picture, which is taken from inside a house, there's a blue curtain hanging just to the left. It really resonates with me because this is how I observed nature for most of lockdown. Through my window, after having my one walk a day, but wishing I could do more in early UK lockdown, I watched the birds and the fox, and I wish I could have seen deer, just like this. The book continues with a few other images, stills taken from those YouTube videos, and beautiful bits of poetry that are hidden behind the pictures. On the back page is a number, 4 of 20. Just 20 copies of this book exist, and I'm lucky enough to have one of them. It's a book that is a uniquely physical experience. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Briony Hughes. I'm a PhD researcher and poet based at Royal Holloway. I'm currently wearing white archival gloves as I've just unwrapped the pink tissue paper surrounding Caroline Harris's Cut-out Bambi bookwork. There's a reflective surface featuring the silhouette of a doe and her fawn. I definitely don't want to get my fingerprints all over this piece. The work is bound with blue thread using a Japanese 4-hole binding technique. When opening the book, the thing I notice first is that the pages are very thick. I can feel the resistance against my hands, and looking closely at the paper itself, I can see small shadows in the texture of the page. On the first page, the title Cut-out Bambi is curved across the page in a very curly, cursive and playful font. As I turn to the first poem, I notice that each page is folded in half, creating a sort of pocket. A photograph of 2 deer is printed across the width of the page, but the animals themselves have been carefully cut out. The background of the image is left behind, and the hole or space where the deer once were, I can see text printed across the adjacent portion of the folded page. Sentences don't appear in full. What we can see is limited to the outline of the deer. The first image is slightly blurred, but it is clear that it has been taken in a residential area. I can see bright green grass, clearly well watered, possibly a front garden. The deer outlines are stood on concrete road, and I've just noticed that opening the page wider reveals a small on-looking black and white cat with tuxedo markings in the bottom left-hand corner of the page. Turning over to the next poem, deer are no longer in the foreground of the image, but kind of in the middle. This photograph has been taken from somebody's window. I can see part of the window within the photograph. Once again, the deer are cut out of the image, and behind you can see texts. This one says, Lone Fig O. There's a van in the background. There's a caravan and a car. And in the foreground, there's what appears to be a trellis with possibly a grapevine. Turning again, we're met with another image. This one has a very blue hue. Rather than having 2 deer cut out, this just has a single deer. It stood in a bathtub, face pointed toward the plug, and its hind leg is stuck outwards. Again, text appears through the silhouette of the page. This one reads, now, tiny inner back. So, through forest says, come, In the final poem, we encounter another deer in the domestic space. The photograph is slightly skew-whiff, as if the person has taken this very quickly or it's captured from a video. We're looking through somebody's door into their living room. There's a sofa, it's red and leather. A wooden bookcase and lampshade are in the background. Cut from the middle of the image is what I assume is a deer. It is clear where the antlers once were, and it is also clear that the deer in this photograph is looking straight on at the camera. The deer's body has been cut out to reveal text, however this time the sofa is in the way of the deer's front legs. In front of the deer is what I can only assume is a rug or maybe a towel. It has been folded. I like to think that this deer has caused a bit of disruption in this living room. After having finished reading the text, I've returned to the inside covers, and I can now see that these black and white images are close-ups of a deer coat. We can see dappled markings and strands of fur caught by the light, and this is actually the only real image of deer that appears in the book. Thank you for listening.